Hi, I'm going to briefly explain how AM and PM work and how we can convert AM and PM into the 24-hour clock. So firstly, what we're going to look at is the timeline for AM and PM. So when we're thinking about AM, what we're actually thinking about is it runs from midnight until midday. So when we're thinking about AM, we're thinking about AM equals the time from midnight at nighttime all the way to midday in the day. So we're thinking at midnight, it might be from 1 a.m. in the morning when you're asleep, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. in the morning, up until 11, and just before midday we have AM. Once we hit at midday, then we're coming into our PM times. So our PM would be from midday until midnight. It's the opposite of AM. So it's from midday until midnight. And we'd be thinking PM when we're at midday in school. Usually the first thing that happens in PM that we might have as our time, we might be thinking about our lunch from PM. So from midday onwards, we might be thinking, when is lunchtime? And our lunch from 12:30 PM, we might come back in at 1 o'clock PM, and we might go through until 2, 3 o'clock PM, maybe at around 3:30 or 4, you're doing your homework at 3 or 4 PM, and it goes all the way up until 8, 9, 10, 11 PM at night time, up until midnight. So when we're thinking AM and PM, we're thinking of those times of days. Now, when we're thinking of the 24-hour clock, what might be handy to help you remember is that for AM, the phrase I am the same. So the AM, the I am the same, the am stands for the AM. And that means that when you have an AM time, it stays the same for the 24-hour clock. However, for the PM, I have put down plus more as our phrase. PM meaning plus more. And for that reason, then what are we plussing? We're plussing more 12, okay? So we're going to add 12 onto any of our PM times to make it into the 24-hour clock. So how can I use this? Let's have a look. So when we're using this, if I was to say 5 a.m. in the morning, we use our phrase AM, I am the same, and we say 5 a.m. is the same as 5 o'clock in the 24-hour clock because it doesn't change. However, when we're thinking PM, we're thinking 5 p.m., which would equal 5 plus more, which is our 12, and we make it equal to 1700 hours in the 24-hour clock. So if we can remember those phrases, I am the same for AM and plus more 12 for PM, then we know how to change those times into the 24-hour clock. Now finally, just for remembering the timelines for AM and PM. When we're looking at AM, we have a midnight to midday timeline, and it's pretty hard to remember the two because they're kind of opposites of each other. So we can assign a character to our AM and PM. So the character that I would assign to the AM timetable would be someone who is working nights, like our night nurse or our night doctor. And they might start work at midnight and work all the way through the night, all the way through the morning until midday, and finally go home. So we could think of AM as that character. I am a doctor, I am a night nurse. The next character we might think of for our PM is our teenager. Now I know that not all teenagers stay in bed until midday, but some of them might, and you might know one or two that do. So if I'm thinking of the teenager that stays in bed until midday and doesn't get out of the bed, and then maybe stays up half the night until midnight playing games or whatever, and we're thinking of the character PM as our teenager. So the midday to midnight is the teenager's timetable, which is PM, and the midnight to midday is the night nurse or doctor's timetable. Look, I hope this helps. Good luck with that. Bye.